Welcome to Johnson Praise TV. My name is Johnson Praise, and this video is all about information studies. That is introduction to information studies, which is what information in society. That's INFS111. So I'm coming to take you through the course. Okay, that is session 1 of INFS 111. So at the end of this video, we'll learn more about information explosion, escalation, and how information is actually relevant in our society. So we'll look at all these things and then try our best to actually relate it to our daily lives. So as I said, we'll look at the daily encounters with information devices around the world, and then the uses of information in our society. So we are coming to delve more into these topics, but before then, hit on the subscribe button and give me a follow. And I'll be bringing you more videos on information studies just to guide you on how to go about the course, so you can decide to be watching my videos without even attending lectures, and you can still write your exams and pass. So it is very necessary to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure you turn on the notification button so that if I release a video, you'll be the first person to get access to it. Now let's get started. So we are coming to look at daily encounters with information. Before then, what is information? When you talk of information, and before you be able to explain information, you must know what a data means. So data is a raw fact or figures, okay? Raw facts or figures that have not been processed, right? So if I come to your class and I start compiling your ages, okay, your names and your ages, I write age. So I start from age 20, so I start recording those that are within the age 20, those that are within the age 25, those that are within the age 30, and I put those data or those figures down there, which will be 20, 25, 30, and I ask you to interpret it. If I it will be very difficult to interpret this kind of information until I tell you that this information actually include what names of ages of students who are within the age 20, ages of students who are within the ages of 25, and those that are within the ages of 30s, or those that are within their 30s. So until I add value to it, it is a data. Now that you know data, let's now learn, or let's now delve more into information. So when you talk of information simply means a data that has been processed. So you see the data that I recorded, that is the ages 20, 25, 30. I without adding value to it, it is meaningless, because if I give you a book and I write 25, I write 20, 25 and 30, and I give it to you to interpret it, it will be very difficult. That one, is it a figure? Is it a mathematical figure that you're talking about? Is it what actually are you talking about? Do you understand it? What actually are you talking about? So until I decide to tell you that there are people within this age and this and that, you'll find it difficult to tell me more about that. So, or to be able to explain it. So when you talk of information simply means a data that has been processed, or when you try to add value to a data, it becomes information. So when I say that we have the among the list, or the list that we compiled, 70% of them fall within the age of 25. Okay, so at the end of the day, I've added value to it. Or 25 students are within the age of 20. So I've added value to it. That is all about information. So now let's look at how we encounter with information in our society. So our daily encounter with information in the society. So we are coming to look at these key features. The moment you wake up from your bed, you interact with information in several ways. When you wake up, when you wake up, so it could be that you didn't intentionally wake up. You heard a sound somewhere, or you heard um, a cock crowing, and that's how come you woke up, right? So we're coming to look at the processes, how we get encounter with information. It could even be that your wife or your partner decided to wake you up, or there was some sound somewhere. Do you understand it? So all these things, or you there was some smell. Okay, there was some smell. You had some encounter with either a good smell or a bad smell, and that's what actually what woke you up. So these things are very important, and we are coming to look at these things. So we have what we call what Olari. Okay, Olari. When they talk of Olari, it has to do with what it relates to what the sense of hearing. The moment as you are sleeping and you hear someone calling your name, Kwame, 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 you wake up because of what the person, because the person is what calling your name. And in psychology, it is what very important. When there's a concept called attention, right? Attention. Those of you, when you get to level 400, you learn these things about attention. We have one something we call what the how do you call it, dichotic attention or dichotic listening, right? So let's take it like you are here and you are actually writing, and there's also a movie, right? So as you are writing, the movie, I mean your TV, your television is on, and then all of a sudden you what you heard some interesting sound. Okay, it's likely that you leave the writing that you are writing or the thing that you are doing and watch the movie, because that side is what is interesting. So you pay attention to what the music, even though two senses. Okay, there's two senses happening at the same time, or two things are happening at the same time: movies and then writing. Or probably you are watching a movie, and then all of a sudden someone calls you. You are likely to what leave whatever you are doing to pay attention to what the other person. So that is all about it. So what we are talking about here, um Olawi, it has to do with hearing. The more um things are happening, okay, or more events are happening, you're likely to what to pay attention to it or respond to it. And that is what we mean what, or we refer to as what Olari. Okay, the next one is what gustatorially. When you talk of gustatorially is all about the sense of taste. This one, the women are very good in doing that. Okay, they cook and they for tasting things, it is their habit. Okay, so if you want to know whether that banku is salty or not, how do you taste it? Do you use your hand to taste it? No. You what you what you put it in your mouth, and then through that you'll be able to what to taste whether it is what nice, or it is salty or not. Okay, so tasting, and let's take it like as you are here, you someone gives you quinine, and then you take that quinine, you are likely to respond to it because of what the said. You see the person shouting, "I," you get it, or giving even a medicine to a child, the child will be crying because of what the person is interacting with information. The information the person is interacting with is that it is telling the child that the child is telling you that the medicine is what bitter, right? And the same way, if you give a child sugar, or you try to give the child let me give you this one. If you try to give the child a honey, okay, it is likely that the person will be laughing or be longing for more. So you get to know that it is it is tasty. And if a food is tasty, you get to know it after the person interact with that information at that moment. That is what we call gustatorially. And we have olfactorily. Olfactorily. So when they talk of olfactorily, it is connected with the sense of smell. The sense of smell. Assuming you sit in trotro and all of a sudden you hear some strange scent from the mate or someone sitting by you, you are likely to respond to it. You frown your face, assuming mate now what in China ne moto mutu, okay, or someone sitting by you is really smelling, and the person is just sitting just next to you. You are likely to respond to it. If you are walking outside and you get to a big gutter where the place really smells, okay, no one will ask you to run fast, or either run or walk faster, because the place is smelling, or someone shit somewhere, okay. Excuse my language, okay, but I have to say that. And actually all of a sudden you get encounter with that. You start in a local nipa na ka say, why na be sad way, you get it. You got in contact with information. And then the other one that has to do with tactily. Let's take it like you are sitting there quietly, all of a sudden someone touches you, you are likely to respond to that. That is all about touching. It has to do with touching, sense of touch. So if you touch someone, the person is likely to respond to it, okay. Obi to now the person will respond to it, because you've touched the person. So in the tactily has to do with these things. And also we also have even like the sun. If you are walking through the sun, okay, and assuming the sun, the way how the nature of the sun is really scorching, you are likely to respond to it, because the sun is just giving you a direct contact, okay. So your body will respond to it, right? And that is all about the tactile. Let's talk about visually. It has to do with sight. You respond to information based on what you see. As you are here, you see a madman coming with knife towards you. What will you do? You respond to it. Is that not it? So these are the ways we interact with information. These are the 5 ways we interact with information: orally, gustatorially, olfactorily, tactily, visually. These things are very, very important. Let's look at transformation of information, or transforming information. Information can be transformed from one point to another, and that is what we are talking about, okay. Transformation of information. So let's use a piano student, for instance. You're a piano student. The first thing, the person will get in contact with information in diverse ways. The first one, let's take like for a music student or piano student, they are likely to use musical notes, right? So they have the musical note. So here, tactily, the person will touch that musical note. Also, the person will also use the visual one. The person will look through the book, okay. A person will look through it. So also after after getting in contact with that information by touching it, the person will look through the book, which is visually, okay. And with the visually, after that one visually, after touching it, after looking through it, now he begin to strike the music, the keyboard, okay. So another one, tactily, he will touch it. After touching it, it will produce a sound, either a nice, a melodious sound or a horrible sound. So the sound that comes to this is what a sense of hearing. And the sense of hearing, please drop it under the comment section for me. What is the sense of hearing? How do we call the sense of hearing? I've explained that one for you. We have what auditory, gustatorily, olfactorily, tactily, and visually. Which of them is the sense of hearing? Drop it under the comment section. So after hearing, someone will hear the sound, and if the sound is nice, it is likely for you to dance. Okay, so information has transformed from one point to another, not only one way. And it's basically like you are in the kitchen and you decide to slide onion. So you touch the knife, okay, touch the onion. When you slide it, you are likely to to experience that scent. Okay, you know the onion has some scent, and when it get over you, okay, you are likely to respond to it. It will be like you have no one has beaten you, but definitely you have to respond to it because of that scent. Okay, the onion scent is very powerful, so you experience that one. Okay, and aside that too, it goes through so many process, so many ways. So that is all about transformation of information. Let's look at escalation of information. When you talk of escalation of information, on a daily basis, information grows by leaps and bounds. For example, information produced in 2002, we are now coming to look at information that was being produced in 2002. So that information, it was equivalent to 37,000 libraries. So the information that we produced in 2002 in general was equivalent to 37,000 libraries, okay, with their collected size. So which is equivalent to the Library of Congress. So the whole information that we produced in 2002 was equivalent to 37,000 libraries. Now approximately, if you are to really divide it, okay, approximately 800 megabytes of information for each person in the world. So that information that we produce in the year 2002, if you are to divide it for each and every person in the world, it means that everyone will be producing 800 megabytes a year. That everyone will be consuming around 800 megabytes, or will be using around 800 megabytes within that specific year. That's the whole information that we produce in the year 2002. Fast forward now, within 4 years time, that's 2006. Within 2006, information that we produce, it's around we produce 20 exabyte information from 800 megabyte to 20 exabyte. This is scary. So it tells you how information escalated within that 4 years period, from megabyte to exabyte. 20, not even 1 exabyte, but 20 exabytes. It tells you how faster information escalates. Also, now we know the escalation, how information, the rate at which information escalate. Let's now look at how gathering and managing of information. So this one is very, very important. How we track, we receive, and also we manipulate information. Now let's look at let's now take these examples. In 2004, over 60% of USA households had computers. More than half of the American homes had internet connections. That is US Department of Commerce. That's the report they released in 2004. So they said that in the year 2004, over 60% of USA households had access to computers. By then, Ghanaian were producing how do you call it, cantata, were producing Chiwa Part 12, okay, and we're learning, we're trying our ways how to use juju to bring our brothers down, whilst US household were producing computers, having access to computers, 60% of their household in the year 2004. By then, in Ghana, when you go to one village or you take one community, you have like 5 people using television. By then, one community or one big town, you have like 5 people using television. In my hometown, like this where I was, it's a very big, it's a district capital, but I won't mention the name. I can tell you that within that period, we had about 2 people using television in the whole town. So it tells you the difference between the advanced world, okay, and then the third world countries, which is what Ghana is also what part, okay. So time I Chiwa part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, thinking of how to bring our brothers down, thinking on what things to do, fighting for politicians and doing all sort of things. US was using computers and they were creating more things into the system whilst we were doing nothing. Okay, fast forward. In 2005, 80% of adult Americans had access to internet. So 80% of them had access to internet. In Ghana here, you can't even get this figure up to now. You can't say Ghanaian population, 80% of us have access to internet. It is never true. At this moment, it will be around 70%. It is only Accra here that you have access to internet. You go to the villages and see. People climb mountains, people climb coconut trees before they even make calls. So it's not easy. The way you see things in Accra here is different. Go to some villages and you see how people struggle. So we are behind. Okay, we are behind. We can't compare ourselves to the USA. Even in 2005, 80% of them had access to internet. The adults. Not even think of those that were even using it in school, the younger generation that were using them in school, the computers and stuff. And in 2006, within 1 year period too, American had 8 radios and 2.4 television sets. Okay, so averagely, every US home had 8 radios and television. By then, compare it to Ghana in 2006, how many of us were having radios and televisions and those stuff? Okay, we were all interested in what? Chiwa, cantata, any we those kind of stuff. That's what we were interested in, right? But they were rather what using these devices, and that is why they are actually advanced, because the more you use the internet, the more you begin to be creative and also try to explore other technologies. But we were not even thinking about that, right? So this is the difference between Ghana and US. Now let's look at the broadband penetration. The broadband penetration increased from 11.7% inhabitant in June 2005 to 15.5 in June 2006. So within 1 year, broadband penetration had an increase of 4%. It's not 4%. Like I can say, like, yes, it was 11 to 15. So the difference between that one was I can say 4%. Okay, but when you to convert it in percentage wise, if you have a calculator, you can put it. Yes, so 4%. You strike the percentage. You strike the percentage, and then you will see the growth. Okay, it experienced around I can say around 30% increase. Okay, it had an increase, like the percentage ratio. Well, I think it will be around 20 to 30%. I'm not using calculator, so that is it. But that is the little projections I've been able to make. So the uses of devices. So this is how they use devices. In 2006, it was common for an individual in developed countries to own and use most of the following information devices. So when you go to those developed countries, they were using either clocks, computers, telephones, printers, watches, radios, telephones, fax machines, DVD players, calculators, thermostats, scanners, MP3, calendars. They were using books, VCR, CD player, camera, and then security alarm, security or what? Alarm system. So these were things they were using. And let's look at the uses of information. So individuals in 2006 were likely to have used one or more of the following information services in addition to the devices in the above slide. So they were likely to use them: the television services, cable television subscription, satellite radio subscription, internet access, security monitoring service, wireless phone service. So now these are the things they were using whilst we were doing cantata, whilst we were following politicians, whilst we were doing tribalism, whilst we were bringing our brothers down. They were what? Using these devices. They were thinking of creating. Let me give you this scenario. When you go to US, they have companies like Tesla. Okay, they have companies like what? Tesla that produces what? A lot of computers. They produces what? Cars. They produce so many things. They have a company that produces what? iPhone. Ghana, what do we produce? We produce cocoa. You produce cocoa, timber. So let's take it like even one bag of cocoa is even 1,000. And let's assume that one bag of cocoa is even 1,000. iPhone 14, is it iPhone even 15? Is it, they have 15, right? 15. If iPhone 15 or 14 is even 20,000, let's now do barter trading and look at the number of cocoa bags you exchange for that specific commodity, which is what? iPhone. And look at the number of people using iPhone in this country. So at the end of the day, we don't receive a lot of foreign exchange, but we rather what? We import. The things we import in our country is becoming too much. Ghanaians, we have to be innovative. We have to think and stop importing things. I am very, very much particular about these things. We have to create. How do you sell someone's product and they expect to be billionaire? How can you sell someone's product and be billionaire? Look at all these billionaires in the world. Elon Musk is producing. He's not selling someone's product. Jeff Bezos, he's producing. He's not selling. We have which of them? Mention the billionaires that are, you say this person there, he is only producing people, he was only selling people's product. Until we change our economic model or our approach in dealing with economic issues in the country, will continue to be poor. In 20 years to come, also go to IMF for loans, because we are not producing. The cocoas we are producing, we are not adding value to them. The timbers, we are not adding value to them. We export them rawly into their countries, and at the end of the day, they give us penny and then produce it. Chocolate, someone has produced cocoa for over 50 years now. The person has not even tasted chocolate before. He doesn't even know what they use cocoa for. The only thing is that he spent whole year weeding. There's something we call encramping. We have cocoa farm. Okay, my mother has a cocoa farm. So I've also, yes, I come from a cocoa growing community, so I understand these things. You force yourself to do all these works, and at the end of the day, someone will just give you 1,000 cedis. It's not even up to 1,000. It's to be around 800 cedis, and we use it, produce it. And even one bag of cocoa, they can make like I can say 200 times profit. Is it 200? Even 500 times profit from that product we are exporting. And you think you are making progress all the things, the goals we are mining, which of them are we adding value to? Even common crude oil, we can't even extract it. We have to go to other countries. Because they started not today. US started some years, so made significant investment in technology. So the only thing that can change Ghana is technology, and that is a fact. Look at these countries that are developing. It's technology that is changing their country. It's not anything. Now they've even developed a system whereby if you have a if now they are not, even if you say you are blocking people from even coming or selling into your country, now they have a system that can even invade your country, which is what the online marketing. So you'll be there. Apple, let's say if Facebook run ads, people normally go to Facebook, advertise my business for me. You pay them in dollars, and then they produce it for you. People are selling products online. So whether you like it or not, now the digital system. So we should be interested in getting as attracting more foreign what exchange rather than importing. That is tit for tat. Let's now move forward. So let's look at the total media usage. So total media usage is computed by per person per year in hours. So it is computed per person per year in hours. So in the year 2008, the total media usage was 4,059 hours per person. And the television viewing was first with what 1,669 hours per person, and also radio was second with what 1,032 hours per person, and the usage of newspapers, magazines, and books decreased. So the other use of other medias like the internet and the video games also increased. So this is it. Currently, that was, so those period television was what first, followed by what radio station. Now television usage and then radio usage is decreasing. Now we are shifting into what the digital era, which is what the use of what social media. Now social media is at the forefront of what everything, and currently we have what 5.1 5.3 billion internet users, active internet users. That is according to there's one popular company that really do those reporting. When I remember the agency, I'll tell you. But that is all that is what the whole thing. We have that, and this is why if you are those of you into business, if you are into business, is prudent to what to actually what sell your product online, or actually be thinking of migrating your business from what from the local or the domestic way of marketing to what to the digital marketing. And as I'm talking, I'm also a digital marketer. If you want to sell your product, if you want to actually boost your brand or your event, getting more people, getting more sales, getting more people to transact with you, you can get in touch with me. I have a company called Top Strat Digital, whereby we produce what we actually elevate brands, or we actually promote brands or businesses. If you have a company or you're a manager and you think of branding your company very well, we have so many ideas and then tools, technological tools we use to what promote businesses. We do search engine optimization. That is whereby, when you go to the internet, people that normally search things online, it is very difficult for someone to go beyond 3 pages. So according to report, 93% of people do not hardly go beyond the second page. So you can say majority search the front page. Whatever they get there, they pick and then they go. And the only way you can do this is what is doing targeting, and also what getting boosting your brand. Okay, so when you do the promotion, we raise your rankings, so that people will be able to what see your website, to see your business, and that is what we call the search engine of the optimization. So people, you can generate more traffic. And also we do how do you call it, Facebook and Instagram advertisement. That is what the ads. Okay, we run that. We do YouTube ads. We do App Store optimization. We do branding. Branding is the most important thing. You are not selling, you are not buying. People are not buying from you because of branding. Your website is poorly designed. Your products are not well designed. Okay, so they come to your website and then they leave. There are so many things. Your products are not really packaged well. We do competitors analysis and make sure that we get you report from whatever your competitor is doing, and we give suggestions on how you can improve your business. What are you waiting for? Call me or get in touch with my company, which is what Touchstrat Digital. You can just search us online. We are on Google Map or social media platforms. So you can contact me on 0545412017, or the company. Our number is 0503909090. And you get in touch with us, we'll help you. So we currently the current trend is what? The internet. Now it's not even television. If you want to promote your product or make sales, the television is few people that watch television. Me, I have TV in my room, but the last time I even on my television, I don't even remember it. I'm always on social media, either on Twitter or I'm on WhatsApp every day. Do you get it? So these things are very important. You must know the trend. So this is why these things would help you as information studies student to know the trend, because those period, and in the 1950s, the magazines and those stuff were what? Popular, and people were patronizing it. So those period, if you want to make sales or market any product, it was the best thing to use was what? Magazine, or advertise it through what? The magazines or the newspapers. But in the 2000s, the best thing, the best tool that you could use to promote or register your let people know your brand or whatever was what? The television and radio stations. This time around, it is declining, and a time will come television will not be relevant again. Why is it that the television, whatever show they do, they now come and post it online for people to come and see? If you don't post it online, me, I won't watch. Do you get it? That is it. Let's now continue. Okay, so let's at this moment we are coming to look at the information devices around the world. Okay, information devices around the world. So we have cell phone subscriptions. So now let's take these statistics and then delve more into them. So the statistics from International Telecommunication Union, that is ITU, shows that in 2005, USA had the number of subscribers per inhabitant was what? Was 67.62. Hong Kong had 122.65. Israel had 113.04. Italy had 123.14. Czech Republic had 105.22. Croatia had 65.55. South Africa had 65.35. So this is what? Cell phone subscription. So those period, these were the number of what? Subscribers per 100 inhabitant, and this is the data by then. So these people are currently, and these are the countries that are currently at the top. Okay, the countries we are mentioning, all of them are the forefront. Okay, they are making progress. So broadband penetration, okay, that is DSL cable modems and then the other technologies. So when it comes to the broadband penetration, Iceland leads, followed by what? Korea, and then Netherlands is the fourth, and then Taiwan was the 12th, and then US was the 16th. That is broadband penetration. Now let's look at the current range of information devices. So currently, aside those information devices we mentioned earlier, currently the one that is at the forefront, these things are all portable MP3 players, digital cameras, they have portable video players, iPads, tablets, and so on, and also improvement in capabilities of existing devices. So smartphones that combines the cell phone and then camera and PDA. So they improve these things, okay, by incorporating these features into our cell phones, where it can have what? as it can have what camera features and then PDA features. So if you have a phone, you can use it for camera purposes, PDA purposes, and so on. So let's look at the current devices. Now, if you are doing music and you think of producing CD, you are wrong. You see, in the year 2018, that was when I was about entering into a music, so I didn't really know the trend. I wasn't information studies now, even though I entered into the by then. Yes, I wasn't really information studies student, right? That is the whole thing. So what happened was that I wanted to do music, and I thought the best way is to what, produce CDs. So I released an album, produced CVs, and up to now I still have, I can say, 95% of the CDs with me. They didn't buy because I was not conversant with information. I was not really abreast with what the information system. So in doing business, these things are very, very important. If you say you are also doing business or doing anything and you don't take these things into consideration, you run at a loss. The money invested in the songs and everything, it's what, in drain, because I didn't really assess it. So becoming information study student will help you to analyze some of these things and work accordingly. Do you understand it? Yes. So if I've not subscribed, please, I'll be bringing you more videos. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification button so you can get access to my videos. So currently, if you want to produce, so it got to a point, it took like 2 years, took me 2 years to actually study the trend and know that the best way to produce music is not by producing CDs, but rather uploading it on the online music platform, which is what, the Spotify, the Apple iTunes, and then the digital media music services or the platform, so that people can download them and stuff. And also, Ghanaian music industry has how do you call it, the Ghanaian movie industry has collapsed because of what, people are not buying CDs. Look at the Kumawood, it has collapsed because they were not abreast with the trend, the current system. So when people were migrating into the digital era, they were not really noticing it, and they were thinking of producing CD. It got to a point people were not buying CD. So when they produce the movies, aka, who is going to buy CD? You have now noticed where we are heading towards. So you must be abreast with what, information. So Kumawood, the downfall of Kumawood is not because of whatever. There are so many factors, but this is the major factor. Because Kumawood, almost system ni nyinaa yɛ brabeto CD. Who is buying the CD for you? This is the reason why Kumawood has collapsed. It's not because, yes, there are some, in every industry you have selfish people, you have people that will be backbiting and stuff. Are you trying to tell me in the Nigerian movie industry they don't have this kind of backbiters and stuff there? But are they still not moving ahead? Go to Nigeria now. Currently, they are what, uploading their videos on YouTube so people can watch, because they know no one is going to buy their CDs again. So Ghanaians are failing to embrace this challenge, and that's why we are not what, moving forward. So in order to revive the Ghanaian movie industry, we must what, use the digital means. Even the Gollywood has even, I can say, it has collapsed now. So they must think of what, putting their movies on Netflix. Now that is, Netflix is what, on top of the game. Netflix, YouTube, and some other platform that you can sell music and stuff, or movies. Okay, if you want to sell music to Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and Boomplay. Also, we have what, there's also one of the most popular one that people normally also post it there or upload their music. Yes. So you look at all these platforms, and then you upload your music there, and then you have cell phone services. Okay. And then now too, people are also into blogging, certain information. So, and then this is what is collapsing the television services, because they rather give us information every day, and now the bloggers are doing that. If anything happens in the day that Israel the day that Palestine invaded Israel, we heard it within the twinkle of an eye. I didn't go to watch TV. Me, if I want to get a news, I go to Twitter. Everything happens there. So why do I have to come and watch on my TV, spend precious time with something I can use I can use 2 minutes to find. I have to spend my time like 4 hours. That for 2 hours, I've wasted it just watching TV in order to just get access to information. Wow, I can search and get it at once. Well, you want me to watch movie? No. Or TV? No, 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 no. That is it. So because people are what trying to prioritize their time. Now we have to look at information. So basically, information is used for decision making and for resolving uncertainty. How do we you use information to make decision? Let me explain this. Do we use it? We use information to make decisions because there are certain things that requires what information. Let's take like we've heard that Mr. our manager our manager has been demanding money from workers or people that he has been employing. Our HR manager has been demanding money from new employees before he employs them, or has been sleeping with them before employing them. That is the hearsay, but we don't have a data or information on that. The day that we hear or we get enough data to prove that we sack the person, you've heard that someone is a thief, but you have not gotten any evidence. The day that you get enough information, that's the end of the person. You have to report the person to the police. So you need information to make decision. And let me explain this. Information that you get, you must validate it, authenticate it before making decision. You are information study student. Some of you see some link Biana will share or platform. So Mahama is giving 300 megabyte data. No, they not platform. So that thing is childish. Yeah, sorry, excuse my language, but it's childish. You are information study student. Not everything you should react to. Some of these things are fake. Okay, 100% of them just to hack your phone. So desist from this kind of stuff. Validate information. Look at it. If someone is reporting something, I check the source. You can't come and report to me that they said the GFA president has been sacked. From where? Who sacked the GFA president? It must come from the Ministry of what? Information. If Ministry of Information is reporting information that the GFA president has what? Been sacked, that one I can go all out and do whatever publication or whatever decision I want to take based on that can take. But assuming you hear such a report from someone who is, let's say, like into finance, okay, person has no idea, and the person reporting, you'd rather coming to tell you that GFA president. So such information, you need to go and validate it, find out if it is true before you react to it. So you need information to make decisions, and also to resolve uncertainty. If you say resolving uncertainty, there are things that you are doubting. Okay, they are saying now my husband has been cheating on me, but it is what? Something that is confusing you. You want to really leave your husband or your boyfriend because you've been hearing he's been cheating, or probably your girlfriend has been cheating on you. But it is something that you suspect, but you don't really have information. The day that you get information or report confirming that your wife cheated on you, now, massa, the person, that's the end of the relationship. You take a decision. So you resolve uncertainty. These things that they've been saying, it was true. They've been telling me these things every day that you've been cheating on me. Is that now it's true? So you take the decision on that. Okay, so that is it. Now let's look at the also uses of information in society. So information is used we use information in the society. So the two main is what I've given to you. Let's look at how we use information in society. We use information in society for three reasons, because it is what? Indispensable factor in the operation and function of the society. Information is what? The central part, or it plays an integral role in our society. Okay, information is very, very important. So you must what? Use information and use it well. So we use information as an instrument of influence and control in the lives of what? A society. Let me explain this. How do I explain this? Anyone that has information over you has power over you. In political side, there is something we call power knowledge. So power knowledge, someone that has what? Knowledge over you, what? Has power over you. Do you get it? And information studies, I'll say anyone that has information over you has what? Power over you. why is it that these scammers or somebody can just come and say, oh, I have your nudes or I have your naked pictures, give me this amount or I release it. The person that has that one has information that you don't have. So it's either you do whatever. So you see, the person can make you empty your bank account because of that information he has. Do you understand it? You get it well. So information is what we use it as an instrument of influence. The U.S. military, how do you call it, system, or the U.S. Defense Council, they have certain information that, let's say, like Russia doesn't have, or they have some military intelligence that other countries do not have. The day that military intelligence comes out, it's likely that some of these big countries that are fighting for to lead the world, something like country like China or Russia, can attack US based on that one. So US has currently US, it has that power because what, some of these countries don't know their military strategy. That's why they are quiet. The day that they get that strategy, US is dead. And also this also, as I'm using this one to advise you, there are certain information, even not even your wife, you have to disclose to. You get it? Or even your husband need to know this. Some people, the moment they get to know some information or certain things about you, they begin to use it against you. So there are certain things you can discuss, but not everything. So in as we go forward, you learn more about how do you call it, you learn more about personal information, private information, and then public information. So you know some of these things, and also political structure of the country. So in the, how do we use for information for or to resolve for what, for the political structure of the country. This is why mostly they conduct population census. So when they conduct the population census, they take your how do you call it, your ages, your economic how do you call it, status, your social status, your marital status, everything about you. They take this information. Why do you think they will take this information? If government want to implement a flagship policy for the poor, okay, they look at the number of people that fall below the poverty line. Let's say, like you say, the poverty line currently, I think per my recent check, it was 1.5 dollars, okay, 1.1 $1.50, okay, and $1 is already 12 cedis, okay. So when you add divide 12 cedis, you add another let's say like um when you add, let's say 6 cedis, so 12 plus 6 will be what, that'll be 18 cedis. So if someone lives, or so, but I think right now it will be like around $2. So if the poverty line is $2 and someone, let's take like 20 cedis, so anyone that spend 20 cedis, below 20 cedis a day, is regarded as poor in the US system. You spend less than 20 cedis a day, you are regarded as what, poor. So the government look at people that are below the poverty line. They say, okay, these people are poor. So they go to communities, let's say like they go to some of these poor communities. They go to either Zongus, and then the other communities that are really in need, and go to maybe some places. That doesn't mean that all people from Zongo are poor, no. But most people living within those areas are what, are actually struggling to make their ends what mean, and there are rich people among them. Not everybody living in Zongo is what, poor. I need to clarify these things. And also you go to like places that have what, that have more, the Kayayos are living there. Those places, so they do policies to favor them, and they can also use that information to negotiate with what, foreign agencies for what, for assistance. So and also it helps them to improve what, the relationship among nations. So these are what, the things that they use information for. So that is all about this session. Please, I'll be bringing you, let's now look at the rapidity of information. That's the last topic, then we end the session. So rapidity of information. Now let's look at this. The day Queen Elizabeth died, within a twinkle of an eye, WhatsApp was really what? WhatsApp responded to it. Everybody was posting Queen Elizabeth. Across the world, everyone was responding to it. The day that Palestine invaded Israel, it was all over the social media. People were posting it. People were posting it. Go to radio stations, TV stations, they were talking about it. The death of Professor Mills in 2012, it shocked the whole country. By then, even people were not even using TV. But you look at how the information escalated. Okay, so that's what we call the rapidity of information. Information can explode. That's why you need to protect your personal data, your company information, so it doesn't go outside. Because if you go outside, the time maybe you think of changing it, it may be late. And that's why those of you too on social media, be careful of things you say there, because information you put there, it goes far. People from outside, they see it. So currently you could see there's some guy be called receipt, how do you call it, something, so Mr. Receipt or something like that. He has been feeding the current president and then the vice president with some of the utterances they made. You get it? So they go and then you paste a billboard, and then he'll post the former president. So they do some for not only President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but also former President Mahama too. They do that for them. Okay, so things that they said and couldn't do it, the people would have access to that information and they use it against them. So be careful of things you see, because it can be used against you. Once again, before we end the class, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you need assistance on information studies, you can contact me on 0545 412017, and I will see how best I can help you. Thank you and God bless you for joining. I am Johnson Priest. Once again, don't forget to share the link with your friends and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bless you.